Yeah.
That is
Old.
pretty great.
That was when I gave my information to the Russians.
Yeah, that's what Mick jumped on that whole AI trend of.
That's as far as I was going with it.
That's right. That's all they needed. That's all they need. All right. Welcome to Crossing the Streams, where we answer the universal question: what should I be binge watching next? I just watched something, and now I got to watch something else. Well, you've come to the right place. This is episode 128. We have 127 hours of streaming binge watching suggestions awaiting you on our YouTube channel. I know it's insane when you think about it, right? And you figure about 4 per episode. You do the math. It's a lot. It is a lot. All right. Well, let's kick things off with the theme song. Mick, lead us off.
Here's the story of some lonely fellows and Marcy who spend way too much time watching the TV. All of them have jobs and friends. Well, not really. Just between you and me.
That was pretty good, Mick. That was really good. Marcy, go ahead.
They made a live show out of their hobby. Every TV watcher's TV watching dream. Jeff, Ron, Sal, and Bob. And there's Marcy. They call it Crossing Streams.
All right, from a remote location, Ron Lippitt.
And then one day they went live on all the platforms. You could hear the people laugh and shout and scream. Still can't find another word that rhymes with platforms, but then we cross the streams. Here we go.
We cross the streams. We cross the streams. That's the way we do it.
Cross the streams.
Mr. Chacon, always a pleasure, Jerry.
Chacon.
Yeah, who we got? We got our one of our biggest fans.
I'm gonna leave. I'm waving to you like Harvey.
Lee, what's up, Lee?
Hello,
Hi.
Lee. Hello, Jerry.
Jerry, what's up,
Hi,
Jerry?
Jerry.
Oh, we got a good crew. So,
Hi,
all right,
Audrey.
Ron. We did it. We said we got her first. Audrey, hello. So, what was it? Oh, Ron is remote. He's in a what are you in a?
I'm in a
La Quinta.
I am in a La Quinta in Dallas, Texas. No, this is a Hilton Garden Inn that looks like every other Hilton Garden Inn you've ever been to in your entire life. It could be Dallas, it could be Portland. You don't know, but it's Dallas. It's Dallas.
Does that come with the complimentary breakfast?
Yeah, listen, it's complimentary if you want it, but holy crap.
Yeah.
Holy crap, that's a bad breakfast.
That's another
Well,
hallmark.
Baron, can I ask, where did you get your wardrobe from? The Michael Corleone?
Look at that.
Every time they push me out,
You look good. You look good,
bring
Ron.
me back again.
He does.
He
looks like a Bob boss.
Oh man, what are you gonna do? This is the uniform. So this is my alter ego.
Love it.
I think it's great you're here under such trying circumstances.
Well, listen, I fulfill my commitments. That's how it is.
You do.
So I'm full of Indian food right now, which is a whole different conversation. But we'll talk about Texas Indian food. It's something to behold.
So if you have to run, real fast.
Yeah, we talked about that a little earlier.
Okay. I don't think anyone died this week. Did anyone die? Mick? No one died, I don't think, right? Famous.
Just Lauren Boebert's congressional career.
Holy crap.
She got caught reaching across the aisle.
Yeah.
Do you see that? At first it was all about vaping, and then he's groping her, and she's grabbing him. The best is like on TikTok, the ones where they intercut with her talking about Jesus, and then
yeah. That's so good.
It's kind of weird that they were videotaping that. And then
She's a little scamp. That Boebert.
Oh man, to think she only lost by like 10 votes. But all right, well that's good. And then what else we got? All right, we got a lot. We got a lot for the show, and we got Ron. Let's see what we have. Last week, what did we do last week? It was a banner week. We talked about the Rocky Horror Picture Show, Buckaroo Banzai, Across the Eighth Dimension, and Untold Johnny Football. That was a crazy.
Buckaroo Banzai.
Yeah, you've seen Buckaroo Banzai. I'm sure you've seen Buckaroo.
Love it. I love that movie.
Who talked about Rocky Horror last week? I missed
That was me. It was a good one.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm a huge Rocky Horror fan. By the way,
Me too.
October 12th, Fisher Theater. Jeff
up.
confirmed it, and Barry
Is that
all
Bostwick
going?
and
Are we
Barry
all going?
Bostwick is
Oh.
going to be there.
It's
I'm
like
there.
it's like $500 a ticket.
No, it's not
Okay.
500. No, you can get tickets for less, but it's
Yeah,
but
you
it's
get
there.
$7 to $8 tickets if you want to sit
I'm
in the
a,
very
I'm
back
a
row.
Fisher subscriber. Do I get a discount? Did I miss
I don't
that?
know. Check it out. See if you can get us. We'll see if we can get some
We
tickets.
Get us all
I think
in.
we should all go.
Yeah, if we can get tickets, we would all go. Yeah, for
Let's
sure.
go.
100%.
Okay. Are we dressing up? We're dressing up, right?
Oh hell yeah! I'll do the whole thing. I will time warp like you've never seen anybody time warp.
Okay. We're going.
All right, let's do this. All right, well, today, I don't know how we're going to top that, but we got Fleabag, we got the Speed Cubers, No Hard Feelings, Heels, and At Home with the Furies. Let's kick things off with, let's let our guests go first. Let's do Heels.
Heels.
Heels. So, a little known fact about me, I like learning about wrestling. Like, I watch it sometimes, especially with my kids, but like I love the everything behind the scenes of it. I love the territory stories. I get into it. I'll watch the documentaries. Like, it's just really fascinating, this whole culture that was cultivated for years and years and years. And one little tidbit I learned actually doing that, the Terrible Turk was the creator of the title belt as we know it. He was a wrestler, and he drowned wearing the belt.
Did it weigh him down?
That's terrible.
He drowned. That was like at the turn of the last century, not this previous century. So I thought that was really interesting. But so when this show came out, I knew everyone involved was really big into the culture of wrestling. Stephen Amell had been part of. He trained with WWE, a few of the others as well. And Mike O'Malley, who produces the show, we know from Legend and Temple, Yesteryear, a bunch of different shows. He stepped into it. He plays sort of the antagonist. And now it's on season 2 now. It started out very much a small rundown Georgia wrestling company that's kind of on its last legs. It was big in the 80s and 90s in the heyday. The father ends up killing himself. And so the older brother takes over the business and is kind of like guiding the little brother in it and doing that whole thing, which is a lot of turmoil within the town and stuff like that. But what I really like about the show is it reminds me in a weird way of like Ted Lasso. Like, it's such a positive show, even when it doesn't feel positive. Like, these people are going to come together. They're going to work together. I attribute to like Star Trek as well, another show I love, like where it's not about all the inner turmoil between everybody. It's about everybody working together to get away from the problem. And this has sort of that feel to it as well. So like I kind of was attracted to that and plus with the wrestling background and such. So now we're on season 2. It's about 2 episodes left in season 2. It's been really good so far. A lot of fun to watch. It's a smaller indie little show on Starz. So the acting isn't fantastic, but I can get past that and just kind of enjoy it for what it is. But they're doing a great job, with the stunts and everything else that goes with it.
They show you how the stunts are done. Is that kind of inside stuff?
Kind of like what they did. So it's all a story. So you do see them in their training sessions and stuff like that. So you get an idea, like they'll practice certain moves over and over and over again. And you see that. So you see how much work really goes into it and how physical a sport it really is, regardless of how people talk about it. But I really like that they're in this world. The WWEs exist and all the other big companies, but this is focusing more on the territory side of it. So I dug that. I liked how they kind of brought that into fruition for a lot of wrestling fans today who may watch it and be like, oh, this is what it was like. Because it's a really important piece of Americana.
Oh, but this is a TV show, not a documentary.
Not a documentary. It's an actual series.
And Stephen Amell. Wasn't he Green Arrow?
Yeah, he was Green Arrow.
Always struck me as such a sad life. Like these guys who work in the regional circuit and aren't making it to the big time, and they're doing these local it just seems like a really, really sad way to live.
I feel like you just described us on this show.
It's like comedy, Ron.
Yeah, it's like comedy.
I'm attracted to that too, like the
Little
lifestyle
regional
of a
show.
stand-up comedian and what you guys do. It's another thing that I really love to research and understand. Having been friends with comedians and watching their lives and stuff like that. Like, that's the funny thing. You say it might seem like a sad thing, but like, it astounds me. So like, I love watching it and learning about it. So it kind of does have that feel. But I really, even stand-up comedy, it's very much deeply rooted in Americana. I know it existed beforehand, but like, there's just
you're
something
right.
very American about it.
It is. Most of it is done in America.
Most. Oh, we have fire.
What's that?
And Marcy's whole family's coming. That's why.
Hey, what can I say?
What can I say? Let me look and see if any of my family's there. Nope. All right. So, what channel is this on now? Again, this is on Stars.
It's on Stars. I hope it sticks around because they just canceled another one of my favorite sports type shows.
Do you watch Glow? Being a wrestling fan, do you watch Glow?
Yeah, actually, I did. I got into it. It was really well done, good drama.
Yeah,
but I really liked how that came about, and it was very true to the story of like how these women came into wrestling and how that sort of got started. Because that was very much a man-dominated sport.
Have we done Glow? I don't think we've done Glow.
Is that the one with Alison Brie and Mark Maron?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I don't think we have. Did they ever? Weren't they going to do another season and then something with? Maybe that didn't happen, right, with the pandemic and stuff.
They did,
no,
yeah,
they
pandemic.
did.
No, they did two seasons, right?
Okay,
I mean,
that's it.
I thought. Okay.
I think 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
I suggest.
All right.
I think people should check it out.
All right, we'll check it out. That was cool. Nice little insight there. All right, let's see what it's like to do a review from
Fleabag.
I feel like we might have done Fleabag, and I feel like it might have actually been Mick that did it. But go ahead.
Mick, did you do Fleabag?
I don't remember if I did Fleabag on the show. I might have. I'm a fan of it, and if I did,
oh my gosh,
season.
Well, I'm really glad you're on the show because I'm guessing these other idiots have not seen Fleabag.
No, I've seen season 1.
I've seen it.
One episode.
Okay, so I knew nothing about Fleabag. The reason go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, please. I'll wait till you do it.
So this is pathetic, but the reason I found out about Fleabag is once again a TikTok video, like one of their shorts of like a 30-second thing of Phoebe Waller-Bridge talking about wanting to bang a priest, right? And this is the most popular short that is all over TikTok, and you see it now everywhere. And I'm like, what the hell is this show? So I actually went into the comments on the TikTok video, hoping to find out, so hopefully somebody would ask, what show is this? And I would find out, sure enough, it's Fleabag on Amazon. And this is it's a BBC show. It was written in England, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, for those of you who don't know her, she's now been on SNL and she's been on every major interview platform there is out there now. But she has won multiple awards for this show. She wrote it, she directed it, she built the screenplay, she did the stage 1 act in England before it became a show, and now she won best for the Emmy for what do you call it, primetime comedy, right? So it's an amazing show. Get this, guys, it has 100% Rotten Tomato score.
Wow.
I know, right?
Ron, when Fleabag was out originally, and it was like Emmy contender, it was one of those shows where if Fleabag was up for the award, it won the award. I mean, it wasn't like anybody who beat Fleabag when it was in its prime. And it only one really big season, though, right?
It had 2 seasons. I think
2 seasons, but I mean for awards and stuff.
Yeah, well, it's funny. I think season 1 kind of alerted the American public about her talent. Season 2 is the one that won all the American awards, although I would make an argument that season 1 is the more interesting season. But that being said, guys, if you've never seen the show, she breaks the fourth wall through the whole show. And that's what makes the show so interesting. She talks to the audience in the show like a 1 act. So you are part of the cast of this show as it's about this anxious young lady in London. You don't know it right away, but she's getting over a major trauma that has affected her life, and she does it in all kinds of hilarious, sometimes really sad and tragic ways. But she's so smart and so funny, and I hope, Mick, you can back me up on this. She's just so terrifically talented on this show, and she brings you along by breaking through the fourth wall, by stopping scenes and talking directly to the audience about what it is that is going on in her head. And some of it's crazy, and some of it's just utterly outrageously hilarious, and it just keeps going. But the thread of the series is all about her life and kind of coming to grips with what has happened to her, and her family relationships with her terrible sister, who's equally funny, and her parents and her friends, and all this stuff. So it's just a super smart show, and you can, right from the first episode, you realize this is unlike any other comedy you've ever seen in your entire life.
Why is it called Fleabag? Does it take place in a hotel?
And yeah, it's a good question. Mick, do you know why it's called Fleabag?
He's just considered, that's like what she's considered, just this flea bag of a human being.
Oh,
and she sort of sees herself that way, like, I'm not worth it. So like she just does what she wants to. So it's sort of like commenting on who she is as a person, but in reality, and not to step on you, Ron, and what you're saying, but I love the breaking of the fourth wall, because that really lets us see her heart while she's being terrible to everyone else.
Yeah.
And even like you were saying, like the horrible sister, by the end of this, everybody has sort of a redemption in a way where it's like, you're all people just trying to live life. Yeah, it sucks some of the things you're doing, but
yeah, and there's no way to watch this show without at least some of what she breaks through the wall to talk to you about, without it not resonating with you. Like every one of us has relationships like this. Every one of us deals with some of the anxieties that she's dealing with, and it's so real. But she's so talented and funny that, because she can wrap this with so much humor, physical and otherwise, that it just somehow it's a powerful delivery. And I just have to say, I was shocked that after watching the first 2 or 3 episodes, that I hadn't that this show isn't everywhere in the United States, like that it's not the biggest show out. Now I think it's gotten its due from the awards it's gotten. But holy cow, this is a great show. You will binge it immediately. These are 30-minute episodes. It doesn't take very long. It's only 2 seasons. They begged multiple studios, American and otherwise, to do a third season, and she said absolutely not. She wasn't expecting to do a second season. In fact, the first season was the entire theme of her one-act play. There was no content for season 2, and the only reason she decided to do season 2 was because. Did I lose you? Yeah.
No, I said money.
Well, no, she. There's the character of the priest, which is a very famous actor in England, who she wrote a lot with, came up with a concept that was really interesting about introducing a character that can hear her when she breaks the fourth wall. And that's I think that's a really interesting way to play it out. So she will not do a third season. It's done. It's so 2 seasons are it, and it is beautiful. It's a perfect show, and I highly recommend it.
I love like the who it was at the Breaking Bads and stuff, like when they know they have an ending.
Yeah.
And that's where it's going. And like it's just the perfect rounded out story. And this in 2 seasons really is a good rounded out story. And Andrew Scott, who plays the priest on the show, he also played Moriarty on Benedict Cumberbatch's Sherlock. He is fantastic in it. He is the guy to her who's like, she's in love with him. He's in love with her, but he took his vows. So like there's this all other aspect to it. But the thing that I really loved about both of them that make it shine the most is that the reason he can hear her thoughts is because he can see her heart. Whereas everybody else just passes her off as a flea bag. He sees her heart, and because he can hear it, he tries to point her in the right direction. And
Right.
So Phoebe Waller-Bridge also is the writer for Killing Eve.
Killing Eve. Yep.
And she won Best Actress. She won the Emmys. That the lead of Killing Eve and her and Fleabag won Best Actress in the same Emmys. So when you
Yeah.
talk about writing, driving, things, it's
I have one other thing I want to say to give her props about, and Phoebe Waller-Bridge has a birthmark on her head, right here on her
like
head.
a strawberry. Like,
Yeah, and any normal Hollywood person would have gotten rid of that or would have designed this thing to never ever show that. And she's so freaking authentic that it's there. It's there the whole show, and she owns it, and I love that. I love that about her, and so it's a great show. The one last thing I'll just say before I hang it up, Mick, is that the concept of the fox in season 2. There's a fox that you never see in the show that the priest and she that keeps interacting with them in a way that only the two of them can see this fox. And you're left to wonder what was the significance of the fox. And if you go and look up the show on YouTube and some of the interviews, all of the major interviews, Jimmy Fallon and other, what was the deal with the fox? Explain the fox. And she's like, no, you're going to have to figure that out yourself. Because to Mick's point, I think the fox represents something that only the two of them have in common, that they can see each other and their heart and who they are. So it was a great, interesting piece of
sort of. And I do not mean to sound like a jerk here.
Yeah.
It more represents the thing they can't catch.
They can't catch it. It's true, because they never see it.
They know they're perfect for each other. And they're never going to be together. They can't catch it. Like, she can't have her relationship. She's gone.
Yeah.
She can't have the relationship with him.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not the crack fox from the Mighty Boots.
No.
You remember that? That was the greatest,
and
creepiest.
then the other nice thing about this Fleabag show is, I think Mick will agree with this, because I remember from when he talked about, oh God, what was it? What's that new Marvel show? Oh, Secret Invasion. Olivia Colman is the stepmom in Fleabag. She's been in a million things, and she's like one of the greatest actresses ever. And she's great in Fleabag.
She is such a bitch, but brilliant.
I have not seen that, but I'm going to, because I like the ideas that you guys are talking about that she wrote into the show. But I ever the contrarian here, I have to say that the Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny was not at all made better by her presence. I thought she was horribly miscast in that movie. I just couldn't figure it out. It's like, what were you going for? Were you going for the professorly type? Were you going for the girl that I don't know. I just, compared to like a Karen Allen, she just did. I don't know. There was something missing. Anybody else know what I'm talking about?
I never saw it.
I didn't mind her. She didn't bother me that much, honestly. Like,
I didn't think she added anything. It was just kind of, I don't know.
I didn't. Yeah, but in that same instance, I don't think her character took anything away. If anything, it just gave Indy. It showed us just more of Indy and like how he always pushed people away, and what the result of that was when they came back into his lives. Because we were always seeing older people come back into his lives, but he had an effect. Like, we never saw short.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
So I think that kind of tied a lot together, but it also gave that he needed that female perspective in a lot of ways, because of what was going on in his personal life and such. So I didn't mind she was there. I do agree with you that it's like it could have been anybody, honestly.
Yeah, it could have been anybody. She wasn't the sexy ingenue. She wasn't the totally bookish nerd. She was just sort of inert to me. I don't know.
I kind of liked her, and it was like actually one of the few things I did like about that movie.
Her?
But
okay, good night, everybody.
Well, I thought they were trying to find someone who had like old Harrison Ford spunk, that kind of attitude, I thought. And so I thought if this had been a huge hit, you could have seen a spinoff with her. You know what I mean? Like, they could have taken her character, but alas, this was a 2.5. Anyway, we could talk about that again.
Zero sex appeal. That's my problem with her in that movie.
Well, I bet you don't need to be sexy to be in a movie, Bob.
You got to have some kind of
strawberry.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think she's not. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Well, like I
Alright.
said,
Let's talk about a different show. Let's talk. Speaking of sexy, let's talk
Love
about
this
Jennifer
one.
Lawrence. no,
oh,
no hard feelings.
Oh, I love that movie.
I'm glad you saw it, Bob. Because
Yes.
Jeff, I asked him to watch it. He hasn't seen it yet. Has
Oh,
Mick, did
very
you see
funny.
it? So funny.
Yes.
I loved this movie so much. My mom's watching. I asked her to watch it today. She did, and she loved it too. So No Hard Feelings is, yes, Jennifer Lawrence. And I mentioned to Jeff recently that Silver Lining Playbook is one of my favorite movies, and I was going to talk about it today. But I just saw No Hard Feelings, and I'm like, I got to talk about this movie. It is laugh out loud funny. There's so much physical comedy, and I just think she is amazing. So she plays Maddie. Jennifer Lawrence plays a 32-year-old girl named Maddie. She is an Uber driver and a bartender, and she's broke. She is trying to save her house that she inherited from her mother who passed away. Property taxes are increasing as the area she lives in is a very nice tourist area. A lot of rich people are moving in. It's causing her problems. She can't afford it. So she drives for Uber to make a living. In the meantime, she gets her car repossessed by a guy that she had been seeing that she ghosted. It is just so much fun. It's great comedy. Anyway, so she needs to get her hands on some money quickly in order to save this house. She needs to get a car, and she answers a Craigslist ad. A couple of very rich helicopter parents who have a 19-year-old son who is going to Princeton, who's shy, an introvert, and a virgin, and they feel if they could find a nice young 20-something to maybe, bring him out of his shell, he'll be better off going to Princeton with, he'll have a better time. He won't be as shy, and, he just needs someone to pull him out of his shell. She's 32. She answers the ad, and she has her eyes on this Buick Regal, I think it was. I don't remember the
Yeah.
car. It's just so funny.
Nondescript.
And let me
nothing.
say, Matthew Broderick plays the father of this
Yeah.
19-year-old. And I literally, when I saw him for the first time, I'm like, who was that?
Yeah.
Oh my God, is that Matthew Broderick? I mean, he's aged. It was just hilarious. So there's this 19-year-old kid. His name is Percy. Okay. Well, I have two boys. And you know what? The first name on our list of let's not name our kids this, it was Percy.
Yeah.
So they named the son Percy. He's 19. He's played by Andrew Barth Feldman. And really, I don't think he's really done anything, but he's going to do great things because he was fabulous. And she is hired to spend time with him. So she has to go to his job where he works at an animal shelter. He's so adorable and innocent. And she's so gorgeous. And he doesn't know what to do with her. She doesn't know what to do with him. Well, tons of shenanigans. I'm not going to ruin anything. I just need you to listen to me and just go. You have to buy it. Not free streaming yet. You're going to have to go to your Amazon Prime, put in your code. You have to pay $4.99, whatever.
It's worth it.
And it's worth it. It's just so much fun. So I also want to mention that.
Wait, Marcy, is this the one where I think I saw a clip of it where Percy is singing "Man Eater" in the restaurant?
Oh, the Man Eater is a big part of the movie. I don't want to ruin that, but oh my gosh, yes, Man Eater, the song on Daryl and John Oates. Is that it, Daryl and?
Andrew Barth Feldman is a big Broadway.
Yeah, he's Broadway,
background.
and so is the woman who plays Matthew, the mother, his mom, with Matthew Broderick, Laura Benanti or something. She's also really into Broadway. She plays the helicopter mom. But I have to say, and I didn't know he was in this. I've talked about the Mick on this show, one of my favorite sitcoms, and I've talked about Righteous Gemstones not too long ago. But Scott MacArthur, who is in the first season of Righteous Gemstones, he is in this. Doesn't have a big role. Doesn't matter. He's just funny. I don't even think he stands up. He just sits the whole time, and he cracks me up. Doesn't matter what he does. He just makes me laugh. So it just plays like her best friend's husband, and he's hilarious. So it's got a really cute cast. I want to talk about one scene, and I really hate ruin. I went into this not knowing very much. Don't watch the trailer. The trailer gives the whole movie away. Just go on and watch it based on this. But there is a scene where she convinces Percy to go skinny dipping with her.
Yeah. I was going to ask you about that.
So I have done some research because when you're watching this movie, they're in the water and they're naked, but some drunk assholes are on the beach and they're like, we're going to take your clothes. And Maddie, played by Jennifer Lawrence, is like, the hell you are. She comes freaking storming out of this water. But freaking naked.
Yeah.
All real. All freaking real. Jennifer Lawrence is a badass. She freaking beats the shit out of it. She gets hit. There's this huge fight scene. And she is naked. And oh my God, like, this is all real. She did this scene. Everything. You see everything. And you know what?
Yeah.
It's not sexual. None of it is sexual.
Yeah.
It's freaking awesome. It is a funny, laugh out loud scene. You're dying. I couldn't stop laughing. And not once, now I'm sure people are going back and rewatching it now that they can. But you know what? First of all, good for you, Jennifer Lawrence. You go, girl. You look amazing. And
she did look amazing.
It's just, this girl. And also, when she signed up for this,
you can see Jennifer Lawrence naked for $5.99.
Yes.
She also
Thank you.
produced it. She's a producer on it.
Oh, okay.
So, and then you know what? It all gets wrapped up with their relationship and this kid. Of course, she's going to get him out of his shell. I'm not going to tell you anymore. But you know what? Such a great ending. So from the beginning, which is laugh out loud, right from the beginning, I was just dying. And then at the very end, I was like, thank you for that. From beginning to end, I enjoyed every bit of it, and I highly recommend it. I just
want to point out that to those perverts in the crowd, the fappening is free. It's free. So
the what?
The what?
The fappening.
Fappening.
The fappening.
Thank you, Ron.
I'd actually.
I'm going back on mute now.
It's actually funny you do mention that because I did read that her doing these scenes was the whole fappening thing where her pictures are taken. That was a big deal. Like that was her. And like Red Sparrow, when she does her nudity, that's her taking it back a little bit.
All right. In all seriousness, the fappening is a terrible invasion of privacy, and I do not recommend going to that website. It's a horrendous thing. But
I didn't say that for your. I know.
I don't even know.
This is a website.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
But
Just a minute.
Mick is exactly right though. She pivoted left when as soon as those illegal pictures were downloaded onto that site because she had nothing. She took control of her nudity.
So
this was from something else. I'm not even familiar with this story.
I need to ask you. Now, so you had the same reaction that I did when the scene when she comes out of the water. It's an extended scene, and it's not side boob, and it's not just it's full frontal behind the whole
everything.
Bit. And
her breasts are flying.
She looks
everywhere.
amazing, and I kept thinking, how I was shocked that she agreed to do that. She's a huge star.
It's called confidence.
But confidence. Because she
had there. In the X-Men movies. There's little,
I don't think it's the first time she's been, but this is.
But didn't it take you a minute to go, Jesus, that's Jennifer Lawrence, and this is full frontal.
Oh, I went right to Google. I needed to know this is real.
Now, if you had led with that in the DM, Marcy, go watch No Hard Feelings, full frontal Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
I would have probably seen it 4 or 5 times by now.
And the line of the movie, I don't know if you remember this one. Yeah, she's sitting on their couch talking to those two, Matthew Broderick and the other, the mother, and she says, and she delivers it so beautifully. She says, "Do you want me to just date your son, or do you want me to date him?
Date him hard."
And Matthew Broderick's like, "Date him hard."
Date him hard. Of course, I remember that.
It was great.
So it's a great, super fun movie, and I know you're all going to watch it before the weekend is over.
Now I am, yeah. And I'd say Matthew Broderick, I think they probably made look older because he was just in Only Murders season 3. He had a 1 episode cameo, which is He was
Oh, he was
brilliant,
hilarious.
and really one of those where you play yourself and make fun of yourself.
I'll be watching this before the night is over. Sorry.
I will say I will definitely watch it, but because Marcy, you turned me on the Righteous Gemstones, and that show is
Nick just said I turn him on. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
touche.
Sure. Beavis and Butthead.
Nice review.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
I'm so
welcome.
glad you saw it, Bob. I didn't want
I
to.
loved it.
I didn't want to, say I was the only one who saw it. But
No, it was
Very
great.
cool. Very cool. All right. Let's see. Bob, talk to it. Let's talk about At Home
Oh.
with the Furies.
All right, this is a highly boring compared to Marcy's review, but this is I would never have watched any of this. This is I think it's got 9 episodes. It's on Netflix. Tyson Fury. You all, if you're not a boxing fan, you wouldn't know him, but he is the undisputed lineal heavyweight champ right now. 6'9", 270 pounds. Just an amazing athlete. He just doesn't look the part. He doesn't look like he's a boxer. He's so gawky and gangly, but he just beats the shit out of everybody. And he calls himself the Gypsy King. He's all personality. His first name is Tyson. And his father named him after Mike Tyson. And he calls himself the Gypsy King, even though he's Irish. Because his father sort of had the gypsy lifestyle for a while, and he just sort of identifies with that. Well, he's a big, fun-loving guy. He's very funny. At the end of every fight, after he starched some poor guy, he sings American Pie. He does this every time, and I don't know why. There's a reason for it, but he loves America. He lives in England. He lives near Manchester by the sea. But this show, I never would have even tuned in if it wasn't a boxer's life that we were tuning in, because I don't give a shit about the Kardashians. I never watched an episode of that or the one with Ozzy and his. It's all so contrived, And this is less contrived than what that was, but in the end, it's the same thing. It's fun learning about him and his private life. And he has a great story. This is a guy who met his wife Paris when they were 14. They've been junior high school sweethearts. They married at 20. They have 6 kids. Their kids' names are Prince Adonis Amazia, Prince Tyson Fury II, Valencia, Venezuela Fury. I mean, they're really kind and nice people, and they truly love each other. And his wife, Paris, is a very beautiful woman. And like I said, they've been together. I think he's 30. How old is Tyson Fury? Like 36. So they've been together for 22 years, most of their life. So but the real thing that they keep going back to in all of this, which I liked, was that they talked to Paris about the fact that Tyson, quite literally lost his mind several years ago. He was the champion, and he retired, and he's manic depressive. He's got major depressive episodes. He's ADHD. So this is a guy who has to be focused and ready to go in his career. And he's had some really, really hard times, and he just fell off the world several years ago and gained like 80 pounds. He was 350 pounds. He was completely out of shape. People were saying, let's get fighting again. He didn't want to. Well, somehow he found his will to do this again. And several years ago, he got in shape. He got it together, beat the shit out of Deontay Wilder 3 times, which I love. And he retired each time because he doesn't like hurting people. He loves the money, and he loves the fact that it focuses him, and all his family wants him to stay focused, because when he drifts, it's bad. It's drinking, it's depression, it's the whole thing. So in the middle, like I said, I gave it 2 episodes. I might watch another one, but it's just a kind of less contrived, Ozzy show. And yeah, I mean, that thing got so bad where, the whole tag, shit, I mean, it was just ridiculous. So at least in this one, there is some reality to it, in that they speak very plainly about his mental issues. and how they worry about him falling off the world again. Like, what did Jerry say? Am I depressed?
Nothing. I just couldn't. I was just like, wow, my timing couldn't have been worse. Yeah.
There's a guy. He's 6'9", 270. If he wants to hurt somebody, he's gonna hurt him.
I put this up just so you're like, yeah, it's the mental issues.
All piece of apples, kind of. Yeah. And his father John is just like him. They got this thick Irish accent, and they're jovial, fun. Just really energetic and generous people. All their kids are as irreverent as he is. The kids are funny. 5-year-olds are flipping off the camera. I mean, it's just it's like that. So, I mean, there's nothing unless you're a boxing fan. I wouldn't recommend it because, if you want to learn about the current champ, but there's no really new ground except the fact that they talk openly and honestly about the thing that they all fear, which is Tyson falling off the wagon again. So they look like all nice people, not like the Kardashians where you just want to, drown them. So anyway, that's it.
They do look like nice people.
Yeah, they're nice people.
Yeah, they look nice people.
So anyway, there you go.
Family.
That's
what
all you
happened
can
to
do.
Ron? Did the Hilton have a blackout or something?
Yeah, what happened to Ron? He just took off.
I don't know. He said that he was going to try and stay on as long as he could. Maybe he got interrupted.
Dufresne. How can we eat when Dufresne's on this?
There he is. He's back.
He's on the run.
So anyway, that's all that I can say about that. I love Tyson Fury as a boxer. He's great. There's some insight given to this if you're a boxing fan. Otherwise, it's a family sort of drama and it's funny, but it's a trifle. There's not a lot there.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
All right.
Nice.
Final one. This is a documentary called The Speed Cubers. Now, this is not really something I would normally have watched, but I was looking for a different documentary, and I accidentally found this one. And here's the thing. It's on Netflix. It's only 39 minutes long. Okay.
Oh,
wow.
It is literally
amazing.
a short film. It's a lovely story. It really is. It's about It's literally a short film.
Sorry, feedback. Sorry.
But it was like 10 minutes after I did it.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. So speed cubing is, everyone's familiar with Rubik's Cubes, right? We all had Rubik's Cubes, right? How many people could solve their Rubik's Cube? Okay.
I couldn't, but I had a roommate who every day I mixed it up and he would just come home and solve it like this way. And I still hate human beings like that.
Okay, so this is like, the Speed Cubers is about competitive speed cubing. It is literally, so I had to look it up because on any given weekend, there are over a dozen competitions held around the world with over 100 competitors each, more than 140,000 cubers from 140 countries compete.
Really?
Yeah.
There's only 195 countries on the planet, and that many are competing. That's crazy.
I know, it's crazy. So here's the thing.
I'm just gonna say that many of them could have used Jennifer Lawrence. Heyo.
Heyo. So here's the thing. Like, there's different competitions that you learn about in this. There's a 3x3, which I think is like the Rubik's Cube that we were used to, or maybe.
Excuse me.
Right, and then there's a 4x4, a 5x5, a 6x6, a 7x7, blindfolded, one hand, okay, and like feet. I mean, it's like, yeah, and like the record time is usually 7 seconds or less, and the person featured in this movie, this documentary, which is from 2020. Just earlier this year, 2023, in June, set the record at 3.8 1 seconds for the 3x3. Yeah.
I can't believe
So-
the documentary was that long. 39 minutes should have been a lot shorter.
I know. Here's a documentary. but it's crazy. So they while they're doing it, this is more about just what the competition I found fascinating. So they uncover the Rubik's Cube in front of them, or whichever cube it is, right? They pick it up. They're allowed to look at it. So apparently there's like over 300 algorithms and ways to turn these things that they learn. And the people that are the experts, like the 3-second guy, can pattern match the cube and know immediately which sequence of things, right? So they're allowed to look at it. Then they set it down on this, what seems to be like this time pad. And so when they pick it up, it starts. They go, any pause, like, or anything. And then when they're done, they just literally drop it to the table again. And that stops the clock on the thing. And so, I mean, they can, it's like with the competitive Olympics swimming where somebody could lose by a 0.01 of a second. Like, I was reading there's a 2x2 cube and the record is half a second.
What?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. So this is about this particular documentary, The Speed Cubers. That's sort of the subtext is these competitions, but it focuses on two people. Felix Zemdegs, who's from Australia, who's was the world champion in everything, like in almost every one of these categories, was the world champion. And
How
then
old is he?
It's a good question.
Like, was he around when it first came out?
I'll have to find out. I'm not sure how old he was, but I mean, he was young. These are usually young kids with nothing else to do. You know what I mean? Because the quote in the movie is the reason people kind of stop doing it is because they get older, they have to have jobs, they have to pay for ketchup. That's literally a quote from the movie. He goes, "You got to pay for ketchup." I don't know. So anyway, but then there's this, all of a sudden this one guy keeps winning called Max Park. And Max Park is sort of the heart of the story. He was born and his parents realized early on he was autistic and he had no real motor skills in his hands. And they had a Rubik's Cube and the mom learned how to do it and taught Max to do this. He was young. He was like 9. So 9 was when he took interest in this Rubik's Cube. And then he just started becoming so good at it that he started competing by age 10. And then he just went on to just compete. So he starts winning the world records. And then the story is really about Max Park and Felix's friendship. They have this friendship. There's literally no drama. There's no, backstabbing. There's no. It's just literally.
Suspense. Is this the word you're looking for?
Yeah. There's just literally no. It's just a lovely story. It's just literally a lovely story about these two people with the passion to do this thing, this speed cubing. And they both end up at this world championship at the end. And who's going to win? Max had just won the year before, and Felix has won, many years as well. So these are two world champions, and the respect that they have and the friendship they have for each other. And it's also about focused on a boy with autism and how he rose above, and all this kind of stuff. So, and then it ends with who wins at the end, which isn't. It's just part of the story. It's not like, it's only 40 minutes. It's only 40 minutes. You know what I mean? So, and I'll be honest, I watched it at 1.5 speed, so it wasn't even 40 minutes. But it was.
Wait. How do you watch something at 1.5?
Set it up.
On my phone, you can set the speed so you can watch it actually faster.
My kids taught me that.
Yeah.
That's how I watch this show.
If you don't watch YouTube videos at like 2 speed, or podcasts at 2 speed,
So what do the voices sound like?
Well, if it sounds too chipmunky, you can't do it. But a lot of times it sounds fine. It actually just kind of compresses it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you're taking notes, I don't recommend it. But
All
yeah, my kids taught me that too. That's how they got through high school.
That's what kids are there for, right?
Exactly.
My God.
I don't like it. I don't like it, Bob.
I don't like it, Ron.
Called cheating.
I love it.
Punky.
Anyway, this is a really good Rotten Tomatoes score. It's won a bunch of cool, or been nominated for, won some awards. But yeah, it's incredible, and especially from a guy who like never could solve. I probably have the Rubik's Cube completely unsolved still in my basement.
Oh, I wouldn't even know how to approach that. I
couldn't figure out how to open up the plastic packaging.
I hear utter frustration. 3.5 seconds. That's the record.
That's since he did it. He that's after the documentary. He went on and broke the world record. That was the thing. They'd all wake up and like they'd beat each other's world records. Yeah. And just faster and faster. But the two of them, the two people featured in this, were like the ones that like some of the greatest like in the world ever.
And did they get paid for this? Is there money involved
for this documentary? Oh, for speed cubing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they each are worth like $100 million each. No, Bob, they don't get paid.
Yeah. Okay. Well, even Joey Chestnut gets paid to eat hot dogs.
No, it's not like golf.
When Rubik's Cube doesn't sponsor them, Mattel,
maybe they do. They didn't
Toys R Us.
They didn't really focus Toys R Us.
They did. That's why they're out of business.
$100 million.
All right. Well, if you got some time, you want to fill it in with a nice, heartwarming story, and if you like remember the Rubik's Cube, there's some interesting things, and honestly, there's no filler. It's really just a nice, tight story, and it's built around a cool thing. At least I think, the Rubik's Cube. And they didn't have the Rubik's Snake. There was never the Rubik's Snake.
Oh, I remember that. I have a question.
Miss.
What documentary were you looking for when you fell into this Rubik's Cube? Was it about Jennifer Lawrence?
The one, the Jennifer Lawrence, best of Jennifer Lawrence. No, I was looking for the one with that old TV show where they had like, it wasn't Ninja Warriors, American Warriors or something.
Yeah. American Gladiators.
Where they shoot the tennis balls out of the cannon.
Yeah, they did a whole American Gladiator. That's it, and that's why I couldn't find it because I was looking at American Ninja Warriors.
They have a documentary out about them.
There's a whole documentary on that where they it was basically a death trap. I only watched the beginning and I wanted to watch the rest.
Did they get paid? You think
they got paid? They got paid.
I hope somebody's getting paid.
Somebody's getting paid.
None of us.
ValZBTW says, "Hey, what's up?
What's up?
All right. Well, that's the show. This is a good show. Mick, tell everyone about the Scene Snobs and all that.
Go check out the Scene Snobs channel. We got lots of great shows. Our Scene Snobs podcast is doing pretty well. Our Warp Factor Fiction Star Trek Rewatch podcast is doing pretty good. But we have a ton of shows on our YouTube channel. So Snobs Film History. Did I Fix That Movie? Does It Suck? Like they're all on there. So just go check them out. Maybe you'll like them and give us a subscribe.
Oh, I started to watch the Superman 4 one, and no, you can't. It was like, did this suck? That's a funny premise for a show. It did. Sadly, it did. It was not good. I got to meet some of those folks at a Comic-Con, like Mark Pillow and stuff, and Mariel Hemingway, and interview them for a few minutes. You don't realize like Gene Hackman's voice is Mark Pillow. It's bad. It's bad.
What? Gene Hackman's voice is someone else's? What are you talking about?
Well, the villain in Superman 4 is created by Gene Hackman, but for some reason gets Gene Hackman's voice, even though it makes absolutely no sense.
You mean like the blonde dude?
When he talks, it's Gene Hackman's voice.
Miss Tessmacher.
Hopefully it's
Otisville.
not his dialogue from French Connection. Let's just say that.
Otisville.
That Superman is great. Everyone should rewatch Superman. We talked about Superman, I think, on the show.
We did.
Yeah.
Ron, say goodnight. Okay, Ron froze. Marcy, say goodnight.
It froze up like Mitch McConnell. Look at him up
I
there.
know, he's
like dial up corn.
No, good night.
Bob, say goodnight.
Hey, good night. Come see me next week at One Night Stands, the
Oh, nice.
28th through the 30th, Waterford, Michigan.
Oh, maybe I'll do that. I like that.
Yeah.
Come on out. It's fun.
That is fun. Very cool. And you can check out Classic Conversations. I got a cool episode up right now. I interviewed this guy, Craig Shemin, who, I know, look at Ron, he's still frozen, who wrote a book on Jim Henson's first TV show, which is cool. But look at Ron. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It is so funny.
Somebody, his aide needs to come up and whisper something in his ear. Yeah, Mr. McConnell, Senator. Yeah, please.
Please respect Ron's
Go to bed.
family at this difficult time.
That was fun,
Oh,
guys.
he's gone. He's gone.
Oh, I do want to just say Ahsoka is amazing. Without getting any deeper than that, I'm enjoying Only Murders. I can't tell; it's all over the place, but it's enjoyable. I'm trying to think what else we're in the middle of. Oh, and I am obsessed right now. This is not a review, but one day it will be with Suits.
Oh my
Suits.
god.
Oh, yeah.
Now you're obsessed with Suits?
I have just
Wow.
started. I'm like almost at the end of season
They've
2.
really been promoting
Wow.
it.
Yeah, like
Wow.
for some reason it's like
Okay.
farther.
it's had a resurgence. It is like the perfect, just take it in, enjoy it show. I mean, it's just like I love it.
Wow. Did you ever watch Nip Tuck?
Love Nip Tuck. At
No,
least
okay.
when they were in Miami, I loved Nip
Okay.
Tuck.
Oh, is that when you liked it? Okay.
No, that was the beginning season.
Yeah.
When
But
they
then-
moved to LA, it wasn't
You
as
didn't
good.
like, okay. That was like kind of Laverne and Shirley with me.
I could watch Botched all day. I could take a sick day from school and watch Botched all
Okay.
fucking day with a good bottle of wine.
All right. Well, this is good. This is good. All right, everyone. Thank you very much.
And that has been another episode of Crossing the Streams. Join us every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Facebook and YouTube. Follow The Jeff DeWaskin Show on YouTube to be alerted every time we go live with your hosts, Jeff DeWaskin, Ron Lippett, Howard Rosner, Bob Phillips, Sal D'Amelio. We're all in the socials. Follow us, listen to our podcasts, Classic Conversations, and The Sal and Bob Show. Check them all out, and we'll see you next week and every week when we cross more streams right here. See you then.